Welcome to Inch online fashion designing class. Today we shall make a sample of extension and fold. So this opening is mostly seen on sari blouses and pattu pavadai top. So for this you will be needing samples of front and back. Here the length 9 inches and the width 8 inches. Here I'm going to do the open on the front borders. So the one with the deep neck is the front and the high neck is the back. Here if you want the opening on the center back, then cut the center back with seam allowance. Now I have cut the center front with 1/4 inch of seam allowance on both the sides. Mention wrong side and right side on all the pieces. So cut 2 facing strips, one for the fold and one for the extension. So the fold piece is 1.5 inches wide. Again mention the right side and wrong side. The length of the fold piece is equal to the length of the opening here plus 1 inch extra. So the width is 1.5 inches. So the finished facing piece is going to be 3/4 inch. So 3/4 inch plus another 3/4 inch for seam allowance. So that makes it 1.5 inches. Now for the extension piece, take the width as 2.5 inches and the length equal to this front piece plus 1 inch extra. So 2.5 inches is the finished placket is going to be 3/4 inch. So 3/4 for the front, 3/4 for the back and 3/4 for the seam allowance. So totally that makes it 2.25 or 2.5 inches. Similarly mention the right side and the wrong side on all the pieces. So let us start with the fold piece first. Decide on which side you want the extension and the fold piece to come. Accordingly, match the pieces and stitch. So here I have the fold piece here, the facing piece, and the borders here. With right side facing right side, I'm going to put it right side facing right side and stitch along the center front line. You see to it you have a little extra on the top and extra at the bottom. Now open the facing strip, press the seam allowance to the facing strip, crease it out well. Now give a top stitch on the facing piece. So with the seam allowance facing the strip, give a top stitch on the facing piece. Now turn the entire facing piece to the wrong side. Press it flat. Fold the seam allowance inside. You see to it you don't have more than 3/4 inch here. So fold the rest of the seam allowance inside. You can either machine stitch or hem this to the main fabric. So let us trim the excess projection. So the fold piece is done. So giving a top stitch on the facing strip is very important. If you don't give a top stitch, then this will not remain flat on the back side. It keeps moving. So give a top stitch on the facing strip alone. Don't give it with the main material. Now let us do the extension on the other side. So for this, the right side of the extension piece should face the wrong side of the main fabric. So have the extension piece right side facing the wrong side of the main fabric. So match exactly at the center front. So this piece is brought from the wrong side to the right side. So open this. Now again press the seam allowance to the facing strip. Make it flat, crease it out well. Now fold the seam allowance on the other side and cover the stitch which is made on the center front. Never overlap it too much. This should be just enough to cover the stitch on the center front, and see to it the width of the extension piece is even throughout. Let it be 3/4 inch, not less than that or more than that. So now let us trim the excess projection on the top and bottom. So this is how your opening is. So this is a very simple open, and it's a full open. So this is the extension piece where you have the loops or the eye, and this is where you have the hooks on the full piece. So in the next video, let us see how to make a facing for this. Thank you.